Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video we're going to have a go at making the Fairy Wren for our Scrappy basket. But let's rewind just briefly. So if you've just stumbled on my channel, this is the inspiration. I bought this at a tourist stand in Paris, and it's the classic bread basket. Now let me just zoom up a little bit so you can get a better view of it. Classic bread basket, stiffened side, stiffened bottom, and then all of these little straps to keep the sides together. When it's not being used, of course, it can go nice and flat. So having found this at a market stall tourist outlet in Paris, I thought, oh, that would just make a great project one day. I have attached in the description a video I found where you can see one of those made in that style. So what I'm attempting to do is make one in my style. So in the last video, I'm just going to undo these pins. In the last video, I placed all of the patches down, and then I toddled off to stitch. So that's where I'm at. So some of them I did just straight running stitch, those two. Some I just framed with a simple outline. Others I did overcast stitch. I really just looked at each piece of fabric and thought, well, if I'm going to add some stitches, what would complement that piece of fabric? So that was really the mindset I have. So in the middle here, the plan is to add the little Fairy Wren. And if you remember rightly from the last video, this was my little measuring tool just to give me a little bit of space here. The other thing I haven't done is I haven't stitched along this edge. I sort of have a feeling that I might be able to use some lace along here to create the feel that there's ground, that the little wren is standing in a garden. So that's sort of why that is still not completed. I started coming along here and then I unpicked it. I thought, no, I'm gonna just pull back a little bit and see what comes of the next stage. So pretty much my backgrounds are done. I'm gonna do the little bird next. Once the bird's in place, I'll then have a think about if I add anything else. Does it need, for example, little pieces of lace around the place, just to start breaking it up? And I think it's going to depend on the bird. I was going to do that next, the lace, and then I decided, no, let's get this bird done. The other thing I started to do is fold up the corners, because I thought, what does the bowl look like with the corners pinched in? Was, you know, sitting there fiddling around is what I was doing. And it's sort of, I think I worked out last video it'd be about a 2-inch side seam. I'm thinking I'm going to go a little bit taller. It will make the bowl smaller, but I sort of like the feel of it. And like I said at the beginning, I don't know where this bowl's heading and size and make, and I'm really not sure. And I don't even know if I will need a bit of stiffening in it like the one I bought. Like there's cardboard in there. And the video, if you go and have a look at how to make it, there's definitely cardboard in that one. And I just have a feeling by the time I lay all of my fabrics and stitch and, you know, do our thing, it might hold its own. I'm yet to put a fabric or a treatment of fabric this side. I don't know what I'm doing there yet. I'm just focused in on this internal. And so far, like, it's holding pretty well, but time will tell. So our little bird. Now, Susanna kindly put together a page or 2 or 3 of little birds in a PDF. Link is in the description for us to use for future projects. Now, let me grab my book. You're in the process of also watching the stump work videos, so I don't want to show you too much because I'm just not sure what you've seen and what you haven't. But here is the little wren. So we want to create this little guy on our patch that we've got on our basket. So that's where we're heading with it, which is fantastic that we've not only got the pattern pieces, but we've got this as a bit of a stitch guide. So if you want to have a closer look at that, you can see where Susanna added her little stitches and how she chose her fabrics, which I think is just gorgeous. So using that as our guide, first thing we're going to do is I've got some iron-on, I've just gone blank. What do you call this stuff? You're all yelling at the screen. You know, you draw here, you iron it, it sticks there, and then it creates a sticky side that you can stick to fabric. Oh gosh, what a professional outfit. All I can think of is iron-on violin. No, give up. Give up. So probably shouldn't do it with an iron-on pen, a heat erasable pen, but I think we'll be right. Yeah, no, we won't be right because we got to iron it, don't we? Okay, start again. I did get a pencil for the occasion, and I don't know why I picked up that heat soluble pen, because we would have got ourselves into strife eventually with that. So I think I mentioned too in the last video that my cousin is stitching with me on the odd day, and she is making a willy wagtail, an Australian bird, black little willy wagtail with a highlight of white here and there. So that's sort of how this project came to be as well, because she goes, oh, she saw the wren and she goes, oh, I'd love to make a willy wagtail. And I said, well, that little wren is actually from a mate of mine, and I'm pretty sure she has a pattern. Let me have a chat to her and see if we can get this willy wagtail wren pattern from her. And then in the process, I started thinking about this little bird, and I was like, oh gosh, I think I need to make a little wren. And then along came the bowl, and you know how it goes. 20 ideas in the brain eventually turn into something. So the plan is to sketch out onto our iron-on gap paper. Oh, I'm sure you'll write it in the comments, because you can't be relying on me, it would seem. Gosh, is it printed on it? This is so old, this stuff. Heat and Bond light. I used to use this all the time when I was making quilts and appliquing things. Heat and Bond. There you go. I bet you're all breathing a sigh of relief that she's finally got there. It's a concern, isn't it? Now, where's the scissors? Now, the plan is to choose some fabrics that these little shapes will work on, and then iron them on. So we've got, just having a look at Susanna's example, we've got this little piece here, which Susanna's done in a dark blue, which I think we should do here, this one. So it's a case of, have I nibbled into this already? Yes. Waste paste, have a look around the perimeter, because I may have been here once before. So where's my pins? So I'm going to have to pause this video because my iron is technically not with me in this room. It is down in the laundry. So I will prep it as far as I can. We'll make some decisions on colours and things like that. And here comes the fudge. Now, of course, he's going to come. Let me make a space for the fudge to... Oh, is he going to chop? Okay. So that's the black crest she's written here, but Susanna's used a dark blue, and I like that. So I'm going to follow that lead. Then she's used a pale blue for the crest and the little hints, a pale blue. Do I have anything here? Let's have a look. A darker blue with flowers in it. Oh, fudgy. Fudgy, fudgy. You just sit there, buddy. That's it. I thought he had moved on and wasn't interested in attending, but nope. I wonder if I could use that grey blue. So you sort of need that bright blue for this little bird. They're quite a unique little face. Surely I'd have something. Oh, I wonder if I could get away with that. If it looks silly, we can always pick another one, hey? It probably will look like feathers, those little flowers, but we'll give it a go. And a pin. How quickly my desk got out of control here. Is it anything to do with the fudge? No. He's just jumped right up in the middle of it. Okay, the crest. Let's get this little piece here. I think what I'll do is, if as I'm walking to the laundry, I look at this and think, nah, it's just not going to work because it's this floral print. I think it will, but I think it will. I can always detour past the fabric department and see if there's a better colour. Now the little guy's chest. Susanna's used a pale. I love how she stitched the feathers in the blue. It's very cute. See, she's used a pale fabric here and then the dark chocolate for through there. So we need a pale fabric. This is Japanese fabric and it's beautiful. I think it has to be. Can't be hoarding these things. We've got to use them, don't we? It's the tiniest of amounts that we use. Okay. We hardly nibbled into that. So what's left? We've got a wing, we've got a tail and a beak. Okay. And we need to be a little bit darker. We could even make the tail a slightly different colour. Let's have a look at our fabrics. So I don't know if I want it to look different, but I don't mind even the stripe. That's beautiful. I think that, oh, see, that's nice too. That's very similar actually to Susanna's choice. You can see why she went those tones actually. But I'm thinking this one. Yeah, okay, done. Let's pin that onto there. And that. So that's all our little birds except for the beak. We need a black fabric. Now I will have to go hunting for that, or we can just stitch it in. It's not 100% necessary. We could just stitch that into position because it's just a little, you know, and even Susanna's put a little bit of grey on the top of the beak to show light bouncing around. So we could, you know, create that with our threads, which I think might be the case. So here's all our little bits and pieces. I'm pretty happy with that. The only thing I will need to check is this blue. Are you coming back, Fudge? Seriously? Hey, Puss. Yeah, the blue is probably the only thing I need to just double check. So I might pause the video, iron all these bits on. Yeah, I probably won't cut them out. I'll do that with you guys. But anyway, let me have a look at we're 15 minutes already, for goodness sakes. All right, guys, I'll pause it. Be back in a minute. I'm back. I've ironed those pieces on. Two things. When I pinned them on before, where's that pretty piece of fabric? I had pinned the pattern pieces on the right side of everything, but of course you've got to put it on the other side. So I did change that when it came to the iron, and like I thought, I changed the two little pale blue pieces. I just feel like that's just works better. I do like that, and probably would have been brave of me to do it, but yeah, I much prefer what I did. So now they've been ironed, I'm going to cut them out, and then we'll arrange them on our in our space. I will then need to pause and go back to the iron and attach them where we want them with some more heat, because now we can remove this paper and there'll be a little light amount of glue there. So if you haven't used Heat and Bond, I always buy the light one. I just find it's not as hard to stitch through when it comes time to putting some stitches into your pieces. If you've got layers and layers of this stuff, it can start to really hurt your fingers. So I think the heavier duty stuff you'd probably want to use if you are, you know, making quilts, and the piece might be moved a lot in your hand, so you'd want a fairly sturdy finish to be stitching into, maybe with a sewing machine. But the light stuff is perfect for what we do. And to be honest, I very rarely use it now. I'm probably a little bit more freeform. I like the threads, the stitches, the edges of fabric looking frayed. So I have not used this product probably for, gosh, 5 years, maybe more. Maybe more. I just sort of like the more rustic look, but I thought because this has some intricate little elements to him, I thought I'll do this. And this is a very loose fabric, this Japanese fabric. It's loosely woven is what I'm trying to say. I thought it will literally disintegrate in my hands. And I didn't want to have to do a heap of stitches just to hold the fabric in place. So that's where this type of product is really good. So we're getting all our little elements. So what I might do is I will put a picture of Susanna's stitched little wren that she gave me. I hope you don't mind, Susanna. Fudgy doesn't mind. He just said, yep, it's good. Do that, Mum. If you then want to take a screenshot, I might, YouTube does this fading through your photos, and I can turn that off, and I might do that for the wren so that you guys can take a screenshot easily. And then if you want to stitch the little wren the way that Susanna has, which I'll probably follow suit because I just love the little wren, and I think by now in my stump work video, you can hear the hesitation in my voice of putting the Wren into that stitchery, even though it's a vintage sewing techniques, which was hosted by Susanna. So it really is a great spot for the little Wren to go. I don't know, I started looking at it thinking, I want to look at it more often, and he'll be forever gone into the book. So I think as a nod to Susanna, I'm going to follow her stitch lines that she used. So I will do a screenshot. Oh, well, I'll put it up so that you can do a screenshot. And if you too want to follow Susanna's lead, I'll get a second Wren inspired by the lovely Susanna from Vintage Blend Studios. If you don't watch her channel, it's linked below. Go and check it out. Show her some love. Look, I was going to waste that whole corner by trimming it there. See, when you've got little finicky pieces like the top of this little bird's tail, this heat and bond. See, now I've got the name, don't I? I had Visifix in my mind. Isn't that a similar product? Wasn't that the first thing we used to use, Visifix? And then this heat and bond come along? I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really been in the industry of applique. I'm going to take that little snippet and this little bit here, and I'm just going to throw them in my little bucket. It'll just remind me that these fabrics exist, so I don't mind that my little snippety bucket that's on my desk here has bits and pieces from all the projects that we're doing. Okay, get this last little piece. Now, the challenge now is to see if we can build our little bird and get him where we want him. Got all our bits. We'll have to have a think about the lace too, and if, you know, we create a surface for him. Okay. Let's have a look. So I presume we're going to start with the body. Sounds logical, doesn't it? Then we might tuck in his tail. That seems to be something that I think is the way to go next. If I do this willy wagtail with my cousin, I will probably need to extend the tail a little because they're a little bit fan-like, more so than the little Wren. Now's where it gets interesting. We've got to, I think I've changed the shape of the just a little bit, but that's okay. What do we put in next? Maybe this bit. This is where that little flush of black goes down the Wren's body, but Susanna, very clever, made it blue, and I like it. I like it. It just gives him just a different look again. Now we've got his little crest, so we can take the back off of that. This is where we see if the change of colour was a good idea, girl. Where's a pin? Yeah, I like it. I think I might need to trim. Oh no, I thought I might need to trim my little bird's body back. But no. And then this goes in there. So remember, I don't have my iron here with me. So there's another piece missing. What have I lost a piece? Yeah, here it is. Panicking not. little hint of blue coming down the back. Oh, look at my little wren. How's that look on camera? Not too bad. So the question is his position. So everything's teetering on his body, which is fine. Do we bring him down a little bit? Because they tend to, you know, scamper, don't they? And then his legs would be, mind you, this will disappear the moment I iron it. His legs would be through there like this. Okay. And then his little beak and his eye. Okay, so we've got our rough location. The question is lace. So, see, that was the other piece I had planned. Maybe I should do that for the black. Do I want to use that? I do like that. No, oh, I won't use it. Oh, it's so nice. No, I won't use it. I like the blue. We want to really scream that it's a fairy wren, you know, a blue wren, don't we? Stop fiddling with it. It's all going to wriggle because it's not glued. Lace. I'm getting sidetracked, aren't I? I might use some pins just to pin him like that. Now we're cooking. Now we can get a little bit more control over our body bits. Now I can see if I need to do any little trimmings, but I think it's pretty good. I think your pattern, Susanna, is pretty spot on. There we go. He's not going anywhere. Maybe a fraction moving there. I think once I start the ironing process, that'll catch it all. We'll be just fine. Now, lace, I really, really want to give him a little bit of a interesting place to be standing in our garden. So let's have a look for some yummy bits of lace. I really like that. I like how it's old and stained. What else is there? Don't mind that either. What else is in here? The more you dig, the more you find. And it's about slowing your eyes down to see what's in there too. I never know. When lace is in a square, I never know where to cut because I don't mind corners. They're often handy. Hang on. Maybe we can do something a bit whimsical. That would be interesting. I don't know. Let's just play, hey? That's a definite. This is a maybe. Maybe we could do just the side like that. Maybe we could do something like that. My husband's trying to very carefully close the door between my room and the TV. But I busted him. I was thinking something was slowly sliding off a bench or something. And I looked up and he's grinning at me, very carefully sliding. Oh, I like that. It's just building up layers and interest. Now remember, Corrine, that the side is going to lift. Maybe we go this way. No. If that went up the side, probably would lose its effectiveness, wouldn't it? So maybe we... I don't know, guys. You could just fiddle with this and fiddle and fiddle. It's so much fun. Let's lift his tail up. Oh, I like that. It's random. I like it. We're sort of bringing in a little bit of interest around him. So then I could potentially... Can you even see what I'm doing? Yes, you can. Good, good. Then I can potentially bring in these little... No, don't like that. Oh, hello. What's this? What's this? This is old. I think we need a piece of that. That'll turn up, so don't waste it on the side. Bring it over a little bit. Oh, I like that. It looks like he's nestled in, doesn't he? Okay. I will check that these laces are facing the right way. Mind you, sometimes the back of lace is prettier than the front, to be honest. If that was cut, would it look odd? Or do we leave it long and lineal? I think we need to leave it long. What else have we got in here that's of interest? Don't mind little crochet bits too. They sometimes add that bit of whimsical. That's right, we've got this whole side yet to deal with. So maybe we make that go right through. That'll go up the side, but that's okay with me. Can go right through, actually. Let's just use it. It's been rattling around in my little box. I'm going to just pin it on. If I shorten it, I shorten it. Now, where's that little piece that I rejected a second ago? This. Maybe it's better through here as a, yes, as another layer of little flowers growing on this lawn. Yep, good. We're starting to get, you know, bits and pieces. Makes it interesting. What else have we got in here? Yeah, I like that too. What the heck? Let's just pop it on. There. There's like all of these layers to the field. I can't do too many more, I don't think, because once again, we're getting up the side. And I may even trim that back and let the lace be, you know, just, yeah, I think I will. There or there? There. There you go. So we're just focusing on that bottom. No pretty bits going up the sides, girl. All right, so our little wren is in position. We've now got some little morsels of lace. I guess the question is, do we add any other bits? I sort of like the fact that it's simple around the perimeter and the wren and the lace, we're looking into the bowl is down here. Yeah, I think I'm going to just leave it at that. I will pause the video now. How long did that take? 20 minutes, okay. It's got plenty of time. I will pause the video. I'm going to iron the wren into position. Double check that all the bits are right and just touch it with the iron so he is down. And then we can do some stitching on the wren. Okay, excellent. All right, guys, I will see you in a moment. Okay, guys, I'm back and my little wren is all ironed down and they're all the little elements are sort of holding nicely, so now I can stitch. So I had a look through my threads and I just pulled out a few here and I'm just sort of going to feel my way with it because, you know, I might change my mind, I might want to play with a different colour and a different location, but at the moment I'm thinking this will work. Now I'm thinking around the little face, I'll just do some little stitches in this. I do have a limited palette here with me, but I think there'll be enough to get us out of trouble. Oh, goodness sakes. Should have prepared earlier my thread. Why do they have to make it so hard? Oh my goodness. There you are. Can anyone recommend a good movie to watch? I'm so sick of the movies. Something from a little while ago. It's like we're revisiting old movies at the moment. And if anyone's got a movie out there that maybe is a little bit random, don't give me big blockbustery name movies. Give me ones that may have slipped through and I haven't seen. Write them in the comments because I'm just, we're just so sick of all of the videos that are out there. And I can see my husband, I need a finer needle because there's layers and layers. I can see my husband flipping through the channels from where I'm sitting as he's trying to find something for us to watch tonight. Something for me to stitch my little wren with. No, I don't know, just uninspired at the moment with movies. So I'm going to do, I've got to be a bit careful because there's pins here. We've only got a little bit of time left on our video, but the plan is to do, as Susanna did, just little stitches to indicate little pin feathers through our little wren. So I'll just take my time. Lots of little seed stitches. Now the clever thing I like about Susanna's little wren is she followed the colours of the fabric for most of it, except here. And I really like that. The safe bet would be to just, you know, use a brown or something, but I love how she's put a pop of blue down there on the wren's little tummy. So I'll definitely be doing that. The only other thing I might do differently is I might do some feather stitch on the wing. I'll see what it looks like. Feather stitch on the size of this little bird might be a bit too bulky for it. So I've got to be a little bit careful. There might be a reason that Susanna's chosen all of these little seed stitches to create the texture on the little bird due to the space of which we actually have. And sometimes a little feather stitch might be a little bit too big, but we'll have a go. I'll just do a few little stitches in the blue across his crest so you get the general feel for what we're doing. There we go. Really simple. And because that heat and bond is underneath there, I'm not destroying the little wren's shape because those fabrics were linens and, you know, loosely woven. That heat and bond will help protect him. And when I'm finished too, I'll really hit it hard with the iron. I had to be a bit careful because I had all this lace pinned everywhere and I didn't want to melt the pin heads. Well, at least take the colour of the pin head onto my iron. So I really need to hit it a bit more and really iron it down, which I'll do at the end. So I guess I've got to have a think about what I want on the outside of my bowl, my fabric bowl. Do we do more scrappiness? Don't know. I do have some beautiful Japanese fabric. I could do one piece of, you know, this guy, for example. So it's all interesting on the inside, or do we do a similar thing on the outside, a patchy, scrappy? Don't know. I have to have a think about it. No rush on the decisions. Let's get little Wren here sorted out in the middle. The other thing I might do to little Wren is stitch a little bit of foliage, like have a play with some of the stitches we've been doing with Jennifer Clouston's style of stitching, using her books as inspiration. I can sort of see the little Wren in some little grassy, you know, little habitat coming up from it. Okay, so that's good. I'm happy with that. I might just pull this thread up out of our way because, yeah, can you see the little stitches on the top of his head? I'll do the same for here and here, and then I'll probably go, that's the same colour. See, I have that colour, but it's different. I might need to go further afoot to find something that complements this blue. Let's have a play with feather stitch and see if we can do something a bit tricky on his wing. I do need to keep in mind that it's a very small area, so I don't want to overpower my piece by having these huge chunky stitches. I used this stitch when I did Percy the Peacock, but he was, you know, triple the size. So I just want to create like a little, ooh. Come on. Talk about make it hard for myself. Now come up in the middle, catching that and doing a tiny little stitch to hold it down. Oh yes, it'll work. It'll work. Oh, lovely. I really like this for feathers. You can layer them up a bit. Tiny little pin feathers. Just gives it a little bit different look. Okay, that will work. The tail Susanna has done, I know it's just out of shot here, but I'll show you in a moment. Susanna has done just running stitch to get details of the tail feathers. Oh yeah, like that. Some little birdie feathers coming down there. Don't even need to go, I don't think, the whole way. We might do something a bit different around the tail. You can really play. You can be as bold or as cautious as you want when it comes to slow stitch. There are no rules. you just stitch as you feel to stitch, I believe. There we go. Bring one right down to his little tail tip. Yeah, definitely need to apply more heat. I can feel that there's a few spots where, see where I can put my fingernail under there? It's not going to stay. I might just do one more. I just feel like I could have one there. Oh, it's come unthreaded. The other thing we might draw in now that he is in position. Oh, come on. Is his legs and his beak. Let's go back here with this stitch. Oh, I've unthreaded again. Patience, girl. I just want to catch this stitch and then I'll leave the brown for a moment because I want to move on to something else. Otherwise we will be here and all we're achieving is a few little stitches. But that's good. They even look like little birdie footprints. I'll just bring this thread up out of the way. So I think I could even use that around his body to put little hints of the blue through. I think I will. I'm not unsure there, I don't think. Let's see if we can find a darker blue. I've got some yarn here next to me. Maybe we could do a bit of a mix it up a bit. I think I want a darker one. What's this one? That's not bad. Let's have a play with this guy. Some Appleton wool is sitting here, so I can get rid of all of those. We didn't use them. Let's bring a bit of, because the little birds, they're really blue. They're blue bits. And I have got quite muted tones here, so I do want to make sure we really scream Fairy Wren. You know, we don't want to be mild in our selection of fabrics and colours. I know it's muted, so we've got a bit of a muted thing happening, but let's have a little look at the wool. I think you will barely see it, to be honest. I think it blends really, really, really well. I like it, but it's really helping that blue. And then if I do little stitches down here in that same blue, I think it'll feel very textured in there because it's a wool. I've got a lot of light on the camera here at the moment, so it's probably drowning out my stitches, but it's really good. I like that. Okay, so that's a definite. So there's 3 threads decided. Now we need a black little beak. I'll have to go hunting for black thread. Let's have a look. No. The other colour, if you don't have black, that I don't mind using is charcoal. This one here is black-ish. It's like a licorice colour. I might use that for the beak. And the eye. So the little beak is coming out here. Okay, and the eye, which will be white with a black little centre, will be in that little hump. Now his little legs. Now our little guy's legs are quite hidden a little because of our lace, but that's all right. I will still stitch him in as if he's there, and if the lace covers it or just peeks open, that's okay by me. So there's his little legs. Now I guess the thing to think about now is maybe doing a little bit of grass, you know, like twigs, and whether we need it or not, let's just do a little bit of sketching and see where we go with it. But I won't make any decisions until I get the bird stitched down, the lace stitched down, and then we'll see what it all looks like. And I sort of think I need a little bit of, you know, twiggy stuff. Maybe just I don't want to bring green in, so if I did do it, it'll be just this dark chocolate. Let's have a little play. Can't wait, have to try. Maybe we do that couched. No, just keep it simple. Just thinking out aloud, guys. I just don't want it to be strong and overpowering. It's full on with all of the stitches already. Maybe we just do a split back stitch. I like that because it's simple. It's neat, as in you don't see the hole that the stitch is going back down through because you have buried it within the stitch prior. You get a nice clean line, and you can always come back and add more. I'm going to stitch through this twig and then think about it. I might just scoot up to here. Sort of wanted to do something, but I don't know. Can't hurt, we just have a play, have a stitch. You don't want to overpower your little bird. Like, I certainly don't want to do leaves and all of the palaver that it can turn into. I just want some little grassy, twiggy bits, random twiggy bits, like he's scratching around looking for a little bug, an insect. Yeah, split back stitch. It's a great little stitch. I know it's probably boring, good old back stitch, but the split back stitch, by going through that previous stitch that you've just completed, you just don't see the lines that you do as your pin or your needle goes up and down through the fabric, especially if you've got thick fabrics and you're making quite a hole as you go. You could probably do a few little pistol stitches too, just to soften it. We'll see. How are we going for time? Time just flies. 20 minutes has gone already since we've been back. It's all good. This is great. So yeah, please put into the comments a good movie that is not a major blockbuster. It's just a good story. I'd love to see what you write. especially if they're a little bit, you know, off the beaten track movies. Gosh, if it was a true story, I'd be even more impressed. I really do like true stories, but no stories where the dogs die. I don't like stories where the doggies die. I refuse to watch dog movies because I can't take the risk. Don't want any tears. Just want a good movie. Okay, that's not bad. I don't mind that. I'm just going to use the rest of my thread and sneak up that little twig there a little bit. Just to get rid of this last little bit. All right, guys, I think you know where I'm heading with it. Like I said, I'll do a nice screenshot of Susanna's stitched little bird, and I'm pretty much following along the same vein. It's just that I did these little feather stitches in here for something a little bit different. I think I can get one more stitch out of this, and then I'll have to end it off. Oh, maybe not. Oh, how miserly. All right, I will endeavour to knot that properly once we get myself in position here. Okay, I think I will chuff along. I will see you in the next video for our Scrappy bag with our little wren. And in the meantime, I'll have a think about the outside and what this layer is, and you know, to what degree we go with it. And here is Susanna's little wren. So even if I hold that now and you want to take a screenshot, go for it. I'm sure Susanna won't mind. It will help you stitch your little bird. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Look after yourselves. I've got plenty to stitch here. Can't wait. And I'll catch you all in the next thrilling episode of the little Fairy Wren. Bye.